lights up the front of the church. There it goes.
There's another one. What the
I think I'm gonna pack up and get inside the van.
Valerie is a traveler known for documenting her journeys across Central Asia with a focus on authentic cultural encounters, remote landscapes, and the people she meets along the way. In this episode, she was camping alone in an open field in Kazakhstan. What began as a quiet overnight stop would later turn into one of the most frightening moments of her travels. To understand how it unfolded,
Let's start from the beginning. I was in Turkestan hitchhiking to Aristanbab, and it was pretty late in the evening, 7:30 p.m. I'm just a few hundred meters away from the city center in Turkestan, and it's sad to see, but it looks like a different world. The streets are full of potholes, they're scattered everywhere. The contrast is very big, like the huge buildings and the fountains. Yeah, it's the same city, right?
it helps to return to the start of that day. She had been hitchhiking from Turkestan toward Aristanbab, hoping to visit the historic mausoleum and nearby mosque. A local family offered her a ride, and by the time she arrived, the sun was already dropping toward the horizon. With night approaching, she needed to find a place to camp quickly.
Okay, I found a good spot here on the field. I have to be quick now though, because the sun is setting and I don't want to use my light because then the mosquitoes will bite me. There are already some horses here next to me, but you can't see them, I guess. That's so cool. I love this place already. And I'm gonna see the mosque in the morning.
She chose a calm stretch of open field just as the light faded, where horses grazed nearby. The setting felt peaceful, and she immediately felt drawn to the quiet of the place. As she prepared her campsite, the horses wandered closer, curious but calm. She spent a short time filming the scene, appreciating the atmosphere, and then settled into her tent for the night. About an hour later, she woke to movement outside. At first, she assumed the horses had returned. When she looked out, however, she noticed a car slowly approaching across the dark field.
There is someone in the car. I hope he doesn't mind me camping here on his ground.
Қазақша білмейді екен де.
WhatsApp берші, телефон.
Bye bye. Thank you. Kata Rahmat. Thank you. Bye.
A man and his wife stepped out of the vehicle. They appeared to be checking on the horses and soon noticed her tent. Using a translation app, they asked her basic questions about herself, including where she was from and why she was there. The interaction remained outwardly polite, but it lasted longer than she expected, and the heavy mosquitoes made the situation uncomfortable. Eventually, they returned to their car and left. Only minutes later, the same vehicle came back. This time, the man asked for her social media information. She shared it, and the couple drove away again. Although nothing overtly threatening had happened, the encounter left her uneasy. Something about the situation didn't feel right. She attempted to sleep once more, but around 3 a.m., she was awakened by sounds.
I can't believe I just called this man friendly. I'm so disappointed. It's 3 a.m. I heard a noise, someone was saying something. I opened the door of my tent and then he was there again, like very close. And he was like making a kissing gesture. And I said, what? I was still like, I didn't understand what was going on because I just woke up, and he really tried to go into my tent. I had to stop him and push him away, and he said, what are you doing? No. Like clearly said, no. And he wouldn't understand, like he wouldn't want to understand. I was like in such a shock because I didn't get why, like what was happening, and I kept saying no. And he wanted to still like come inside. Eventually he said, yeah, phone to speak, like Google Translate. And I said, no, leave me alone. No, go. And I think I said this for 2 minutes straight until he finally left. But man, I've never had that before. And yeah, now he went back into his car. I don't know, will he return or not? So it's a bit stupid situation right now. And I mean, so sad, because they were friendly and stuff, but this really destroyed it, unfortunately. And it was the first time I didn't really feel 100% safe. I mean, I was sure that one day I will face these kind of...
Just outside her tent. When she looked, she saw the same man standing extremely close. His behavior had clearly changed. He tried to enter the tent despite her resistance, ignoring repeated refusals. She pushed him away and refused to engage, but he continued pressing forward, attempting to prolong the interaction. After several tense minutes, he finally backed off and returned to his car. Even then, she had no way of knowing whether he might come back again. When morning came, she followed through with her original plan to visit the mausoleum, trying to reclaim some sense of normalcy after a deeply unsettling night. What made the experience especially disturbing was that nothing she had done invited such behavior. She had been polite, answered basic questions, and respected social boundaries, none of which justified his decision to return alone in the middle of the night and invade her space. Although she continued traveling afterward, the incident became a powerful reminder of the risks involved in solo camping in unfamiliar places. By daylight, the field appeared peaceful again, with cows wandering through as if nothing had occurred. Viewers interested in more real-life encounters that shift how safe everyday situations feel are encouraged to continue watching and support the channel by subscribing. Some believe the man returned because he misinterpreted her politeness, while others think he targeted her once he realized she was alone. Either way, the encounter shows how quickly an ordinary interaction can escalate into a serious threat. The lingering question remains, if she hadn't woken up at that moment, what might have happened next? Many viewers are left wondering just how narrowly she avoided a far worse outcome, and whether the man ever intended to stop. The Tiny Nomad channel follows its creator, Gina, as she travels and lives out of her reliable 4Runner, sharing solo female road trips, car camping routines, and visits to unusual, often remote locations across North America, with a strong connection to Alaska. Her videos highlight adaptability and a willingness to push personal limits, frequently featuring eerie destinations and stealth camping situations. On October 29, 2025, Gina planned to film a Halloween-themed episode. Her original idea was to spend the night near the abandoned Igloo Hotel close to Denali National Park. When she arrived, the entire area was sealed off, forcing her to change course. The day had already been marked by small setbacks, a quiet, uneventful drive through Denali and a disappointing meal in Talkeetna. So she shifted toward a more unsettling option, stealth camping overnight at a reportedly haunted cemetery in Anchorage. After the long drive south, she arrived at the Russian Orthodox cemetery. Its layout immediately felt unsettling, especially the brightly painted, house-like grave structures she later learned were known as spirit houses.
So this is a Russian Orthodox cemetery. I've never been to one of these before, but they have the coolest, I shouldn't be saying cool, I'm like surrounded by a bunch of dead people right now, and I'm saying their little tombstones are cool. Oh God.
Standing alone among them in near silence, she felt increasingly uneasy, sensing that the string of earlier frustrations made the location feel even heavier. Strange activity began almost immediately after she parked. A light near the small church inside the cemetery repeatedly turned on and off. She checked the conditions and confirmed there was no wind, briefly considering whether an animal could be triggering it. But the timing soon felt too precise.
You guys, I'm not making this up right now, but there's a light in front of the church, and when you walk past the light, it turns on. I know, because I walked over there 2 times to look at the cemetery. Now I'm in my car, and it's flicked on 2 times. It's not windy outside. It could be an animal, I guess. I did hear something in the bushes as well when I was looking at one of the tombstones. I don't know if that's what you call them, because they're not stones. But you know what I mean. There's no way I'm gonna be able to sleep tonight here. I'm gonna try though. I do not like how that light keeps turning on and off. I'll show you what I'm talking about. There's a light that lights up the front of the church. And there it goes. It's turned on twice since I've come back. What do you think it is, guys? Do you think it's animals or wind, or do you think it's ghosts or spirits?
The light activated whenever she discussed paranormal topics, when she examined the spirit houses, and again as she read about their meaning as symbolic shelters for the soul. Feeling unsettled, she researched the cemetery and learned it was considered one of the most paranormally active locations in Alaska, something she hadn't known before arriving.
Just reading a little bit more about the spirit boxes, and they symbolize shelter for the departed soul in the afterlife. Right as I read that sentence, of course, that light turned on again. Of course, it could mean nothing, but it could mean something. You guys let me know. What do you think? Okay, I really haven't researched much about this cemetery until right now. Obviously, our plans from earlier got a little messed up. I was gonna be camping at the igloo, so this was a quick last minute change of plans. Well, I just learned that this cemetery is one of Alaska's most notorious locations for paranormal activity. I cannot make this up. I did not know that until right now. Oh my god. I feel like I have to stay because I committed to it, but your girl is scared. I do not like that light coming on and off. It's not even windy outside. I do not want to be around paranormal activity.
That realization intensified her fear, but she felt committed to completing the Halloween episode. As a precaution, she broke from her usual stealth camping routine by leaving her window covers open, allowing quick access to the driver's seat if needed. She described sensing an uncomfortable presence nearby and prepared herself for a restless night. Despite the tension, she eventually managed to sleep. Every sound startled her, and the light continued to flicker intermittently, but nothing escalated further. When morning came, the activity stopped. She packed up quickly, relieved to have finished the Halloween stealth camp and eager to leave one of Alaska's most unsettling cemeteries behind. Some viewers believe the light could have been triggered by environmental factors or animals, while others argue the timing matched her actions too closely to dismiss. The repeated pattern raised questions about whether the location's reputation shaped the experience or confirmed it. If the activity increased only when she focused on the cemetery's history, what might have happened had she stayed awake longer or explored further? The encounter leaves an open mystery about what, if anything, was responding to her presence that night. Josh Life Adventures follows a man known simply as Josh as he lives full-time on the road in a custom-built van. The channel highlights the raw, practical side of van life, routine maintenance, daily organization, simple cooking, and solo camping in scenic yet often remote parts of the United States. His relaxed, unfiltered style has attracted a loyal audience drawn to his minimalist lifestyle and constant movement. On November 11, 2024, Josh found himself near Lake Superior with a specific goal in mind: restoring power after a long work stretch. He dedicated his final day in Minnesota to upkeep, giving the van a thorough cleaning. He swept beneath the bed, organized storage compartments, and went through his essential gear. He also showed the equipment stored under the floor, including tools, recreational items, and his lithium battery system paired with a diesel heater. By late afternoon, it became clear the charging plan wasn't working. Thick cloud cover and the low angle of the sun prevented his batteries from replenishing. He relocated to a designated campsite near the lake, positioning the van as carefully as possible. Even then, a familiar issue returned. The wind was blowing straight into the vehicle, adding to the discomfort. Once settled, Josh focused on the remaining firewood he needed to use up. He built a steady fire and cooked dinner over the flames. The strange moment happened as he began assessing his freshly cooked burger. While talking through the meal, an unfamiliar sound emerged from the darkness beyond the firelight.
Did you guys hear that? Okay, my camera battery just died. I have no idea what that was. It's gotta be a deer, right? What would be walking through a lake? Is that a bird? Huh. Well, I think I'm gonna pack up and get inside the van.
The camera stopped recording as the noise continued, leaving him trying to interpret what he was hearing. The sound appeared to come from the lake and resembled something moving through shallow water on legs. Unsettled, he shut down the fire earlier than planned and retreated into the van. He relied on the diesel heater for warmth while the unexplained sounds continued somewhere outside, just beyond visibility. The sense of isolation grew stronger as the night went on. By morning, the lake was calm again. Standing near the shoreline, Josh reflected on the noises from the night before and the exact area they seemed to come from, only a few feet deep, near exposed rocks. The pacing and weight of the sound led him to briefly consider creatures often mentioned in wilderness folklore, though nothing could be confirmed. His final night in Minnesota became a mix of productivity and lingering unease. While he completed important maintenance tasks and enjoyed a simple meal by the fire, the solitude was disrupted by the presence of something unseen moving through the water. The experience underscored how unpredictable solo camping can be in isolated places. As he left the state, he hinted at more adventures ahead, acknowledging that uncertainty often follows wherever the road leads. Some viewers suggested the sounds were caused by local wildlife, while others felt the rhythm and depth suggested something heavier than typical animals. Given the shallow water and remote setting, the encounter remains difficult to explain. If the sound truly came from something moving confidently on two legs through only a few feet of water, the question remains: what kind of presence was there in the darkness that night? On June 17, 2024, deep within the rugged flagstone terrain, once known as the capital of the world, Rick from the YouTube channel Murphy's Diesel set out for another off-road recovery. His channel is recognized for real rescues in remote areas where navigation tools fail and small errors can become costly very quickly. This job was expected to be a routine recovery, but it soon unfolded into something far more uncertain and unexpectedly revealing.
We got ourselves a recovery this morning, and it's a Ram 1500, and it's in some boulders, off-road.
Hello?
Yeah, is this Will?
Yeah.
Hey Will, this is Rick with Murphy's Towing. We're headed out to get you. Are you still stuck?
Yeah, man, I'm still here, brother. I tried kind of digging myself out a little bit and kind of put some branches around me too, and then I'm still kind of stranded.
Okay, all right, we'll stand by. We're headed that way. It looks like he's right up on this ridge right here. I'm pretty sure we're on the right track. You could see where his pickup was really having a tough time right here. Alright, well, we're at the top of the mountain. We didn't see him anywhere. We don't have any cell signal, so we're going to walk down off of this rim right here.
Rick started the day with a straightforward objective: recover a Ram 1500 trapped between massive slabs of flagstone. He brought Hellboy, a recovery rig designed specifically for terrain like this, and confirmed the stranded driver's position before heading into the hills. But as the road narrowed and the ground became more unstable, it became clear this recovery wouldn't follow a simple script. As he carefully worked his way along the ridge, the outline of the Ram finally appeared, far from any established trail, wedged between tightening walls of rock. The area was harsher and more confined than expected, a place where even standing still required attention. And yet, the hardest part of the job was still ahead.
Hey, we're up above you. You're not on a road, are you? Okay. Can you honk your horn? Can you hear us? Okay. Can you honk your horn? He's down there a ways. So I'm thinking somewhere right in here. It's all that's left from the last guy. So I've found his tracks. Look at over on the other side of us. The ground's all tore up, so we're getting close.
With no signal and limited visibility, Rick called the driver again and asked him to honk the horn. The sound echoed faintly through the stone, helping Rick pinpoint the truck's position beneath a massive rock slab where it had driven cross-country. Every step forward made it clear how quickly one wrong decision could turn into a serious problem, or something worse.
Well, we found him. We found him, folks. So stand by for a little recovery action. Yeah. Probably take him out that way right there, and then we'll get him going downhill. Alright, so right here we're going to get some uplift to get it off of this rock, and then we're going to run snatch block off the rear to get some side pull. So I'm using a McKissick snatch block, way overkill. So here's what we got going on. Back line is going to give us lift, this is going to give us side pull. So we lift off the rock, come sideways, get it up like right here. Okay, turn your wheels to the right. Put it in neutral and hold the brakes.
Turns this way or that way.
Hold on, Kurt.
Come back to the right a little bit.
How's that?
God, it's pushing that freaking rock out.
Huh?
It's pushing that big rock out.
Alright, that's good. Let off a little, Craig. Alright, hold it.
He's sliding off this rock. He's just sliding backwards.
Got it up here, somewhat level ground, stable now. I'm gonna pull forward, got my winches free spooled, and then we'll set it up here on top. Sound like a good plan? Turn your rear steer that way. Need to back up a little? Huh?
That's good.
Right there.
Once Rick reached the ram, the situation became fully apparent. He set up a dual winch system, one line for lifting, another for pulling sideways, as the truck refused to budge. The strain was enough to shift the surrounding rock as Hellboy fought against the terrain. When the ram finally reached more stable ground, it was obvious the job wasn't finished yet.
You know how they say you can wash dishes to pay your tab?
What you gonna ask me to do?
This guy's gonna film to pay his bill, folks.
That's cool with me. This man's a hero, guys. This man's a hero. Murphy's diesel, Murphy's tow.
Yeah, you can. Go ahead and wrap it up. We might need it. We might need it again. Pull forward a little? Nah. We'll get Hellboy over here. We'll just stay hooked up. All right, so truck stuck again. Just as I thought, we were gonna struggle getting it out.
Then came the unexpected turn. Instead of presenting an invoice, Rick handed the driver a camera. Will recorded the final recovery as Hellboy pulled the ram back through the trees, guiding it carefully all the way out to safety. By the end, the truck was recovered, the agreement fulfilled, and the driver's gratitude was unmistakable. Many viewers noted just how dangerous this landscape is and how expensive a recovery like this could easily become. The comments also pointed out how unusual it was for a two-wheel drive truck to be driven into terrain like this at all, raising questions about how quickly the situation spiraled. Some viewers were left wondering how the truck ended up so deep among the rocks in the first place. Was it simply a poor judgment call, or something that pushed the driver there with more urgency than he admitted? Either way, the question lingers. On September 9th, 2025, high in the isolated mountains near Harrison Hot Springs in British Columbia, an area often labeled the Sasquatch capital of Canada, Angelo and his friend Lomar set out on another wilderness investigation. Their YouTube channel, Exploring with Angelo, documents remote camping trips and searches for unexplained activity in places most people avoid. This time, though, the forest felt unusually alert, as if their presence hadn't gone unnoticed.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new adventure. We are back out here in Harrison Hot Springs. Here we're actually in the Sasquatch capital of Canada. The most sightings. Hopefully we today capture Bigfoot on camera. That is my ultimate goal. I want to see him either crossing a road or something. Over the past year and a half, we've come out twice, once in October, once in July. Now we're out here again in August. There's so many stories of Sasquatch or Bigfoot being out in this particular area.
After reaching Harrison Hot Springs, Angelo explained their goal. The surrounding mountains had built a long-standing reputation tied to Sasquatch reports, and they intended to document anything unusual. The forest around them was eerily quiet, the kind of stillness that felt deliberate rather than peaceful. Even before venturing deeper into the wilderness, the sensation of being observed lingered, and signs began appearing sooner than expected.
Now the other thing too is let's just hope we don't get a flat tire, because we got this wheel bearing replaced yesterday. They checked out the tire, which kept going flat because of the heat from the wheel bearing. We went to a gas station to pick up ice for our cooler, and the thing was literally on 10 PSI basically. All right, we are approaching the Visitor Center and Sasquatch Museum. Almost there. That's what I'm looking for. So basically here, what we're gonna do is drive all of this. And if we have time, maybe tomorrow we'll go into this area, since there's been a lot of sightings over there as well. So there you go. It's got lots of these are the actual reportings of what that they've seen. So this is Hicks Lake. Mr. Claire Brevon reported to Thomas Steenberg that his camper was visited and shaken by a Sasquatch, which woke him up. It also tried to pull on the door handle. He viewed the creature leave his camp and walk forward to the lakeshore. Some of these date back to 1939. This one's about a prospector who spotted 4 dark, hair-covered creatures in a valley off the headwaters of Silver River. The creatures appeared to be playing or wrestling. Wow. Youth camp director sees a Sasquatch while he was sitting by a campfire. Other witnesses with the group reported seeing the creature as well. So the adventure begins into Sasquatch Provincial Park. There it is! Sasquatch! Yeah! Come on, me! We do gotta get up the hill, right? Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and find Bigfoot from the sky right now. We're using both our drones. In a moment.
Dude, the views. It's crazy up here.
There is the beautiful smoggy lake right now. Holy, that looks so intense. Wow. It's beautiful.
This hill is massive.
Let's see.
We were a lot higher.
Let's get some zoom going here.
That'll be something.
So there is a spot down in that direction. That was where me and Kimberly last year we're basically camping out. We had a nice little campfire going, just chilling. I think we made some food and stuff. But off camera, all of a sudden we heard something. Like the weirdest kind of, I don't even know, like sort of like a howl, but kind of like a whoop whoop at the same time. Off in the bush, so.
I mean, Bigfoot is known to mimic for what people say, so.
Yeah. Imagine he just like comes into the bush right here while we're both just like staring at our screens.
What do you want?
Looking for me? They're hunting us as we're hunting them.
Right.
Before leaving town, the first problem surfaced. One of the tires had dropped back down to 10 psi, the same issue they believed they had already fixed. While visiting the nearby Sasquatch Museum, they read a report describing a camper whose vehicle had been violently shaken at night, with the door nearly forced open. The coincidence felt unsettling, but they continued into the mountains anyway. As they drove farther into Sasquatch Provincial Park, the road narrowed into dark corridors surrounded by dense forest. They launched a drone for a better view, only to see the lake below blanketed in wildfire smoke. Angelo recalled hearing an unexplained whooping sound in this same area the year before, something he had never been able to identify. Returning now, the atmosphere felt heavier, almost reactive, and deeper inside the park, the signs became harder to ignore.
Hello. You guys see a Bigfoot? Nope, no? Okay. Nope. Oh my gosh. Okay. Something here. There was a tree that had a marker on it, and something snapped it. Right?
It's kind of like, it's like chew.
Yeah. Timber. Like, how the hell did that happen? But, the real reason we stopped, was because we were starting to pick up an odor as we were driving through this way. And it smelled really bad. So we're kind of just like pausing for a second and just see maybe if we see something. There's like a big clearing and opening up here too. Wow, we just found a absolutely gorgeous location right on the lake. So this is kind of more like an actual campsite. Like there are people with like their trailers and RVs and stuff. There are several sightings like along this way, reported sightings of Bigfoot. So you never know, we could be in the water and all of a sudden just Bigfoot comes out of the freaking trees. Oh, we've continued on further down the road. Curious to like what's ahead of the beach campsite area. All right guys, so I kind of found a spot where we think we might actually camp out tonight. Pretty freaking amazing. All right guys, so maybe just kind of chilling for a little bit. One last time, and even if we don't catch anything, at least we have a beautiful view. That is for damn sure. I also just noticed something on the ground here. Ugh. There's a bullet casing. It looks like an AK bullet, I think. Anyway, doesn't matter. Not seeing anything, not even a bear. Nothing. Well, that's pretty much it, I guess. Not gonna see anything from the sky.
Away from established routes, they encountered their first physical clue. A large tree snapped clean in half, broken in a way that didn't resemble storm damage or natural collapse. Soon after, A sharp, unpleasant odor drifted through the air, strong enough to stop them in place. It lingered long enough to suggest whatever caused it hadn't gone far. As they continued, the odd details kept adding up. A recently used campsite, another low tire, and spent shell casings scattered along a ridge, but none of it compared to what followed after nightfall.
Alrighty, burgers, round 2. One for me, one for Lamar. Okay, did you just hear that, like, noise again? Right? Like, we keep hearing, like, random, I don't know what that was, but okay. Excellent. These burgers are actually good. I bet I'm gonna go and see if there's, like, something on the road that's making those noises.
It's happening again.
What the hell is that? It literally came from up there.
The road goes up there, yeah? Yeah, right there.
Let's see if we hear it again. That is not Gerbert, bro. Whatever that is not Gerbert.
That is not a Gerbert, man. I hear a car, but I don't see it.
I hear it too.
Oh, it's coming down the road.
Oh, okay.
There's something.
What direction was it?
Went up.
Oh gosh. I thought I heard something going down.
Like, I'm seriously, it's like echoing.
Well, best of luck. Okay. Just try not to die. We are in bear territory, of course. But there's 100% something going on. We're hearing something. Well, let me know what's up there. If there is anything, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, it sounded like, I don't know if the sound was just resonating, but it sounded like there was something in both directions, which is kind of the reason why we're being stupid right now. Hello? Woo, woo, woo. Okay, I just heard something. Okay, I legit heard something like right down there. It almost sounded like a whoop, or I guess, is that what you describe it as? It's impossible to see anything out here because it's just so dense. Oh, what the? Dude, was that a rock? Oh, there's another one. What in the hell was that? It just sounded like something moved behind me. Anyway, whatever. I figured since I'm missing a beer apparently, the last thing I remember is I had almost a full beer, entirely full beer. I don't know where it went, unless I put it down somewhere and I'm just not seeing it. Yeah, maybe I should try Spear Talker. I mean, these mountains probably are haunted, so... Whoa, what the fuck was that? Dude, something just hit the fucking table.
There's like some sort of bear or something really close by, bro. A lot of movement, either that or a Sasquatch is right here.
Yo, something literally just hit the table over here. Okay, whatever. Alright, bedtime. Holy crap. It's been a long day. It was hot today, too.
What the hell was that? I don't even know. Hello?
Oh, no way!
Would have been one of these. Bro, it literally hit the table, man. That was absolutely messed up. Could it have been this one?
I have no idea.
Oh, dude, smell this rock. Literally smell the rock. What the hell is that smell, man?
I don't know, I usually don't smell rocks.
No, but like it had a stench to it when I picked it up.
Once darkness settled in, the situation escalated. 2 large rocks landed near Angelo on the trail, forcing both men to retreat back to camp. Later, a full beer vanished from the table without a sound. Then, sometime after 1:30 a.m., something struck the ground outside their tent with enough force for them to feel it. Reviewing the footage later, they saw the exact moment an object was thrown at their table. When Angelo picked up the rock afterward, the same foul odor clung to it. Sleep never came. They stayed awake, listening, aware that something had been standing just beyond the tent. Viewers later noted familiar patterns often linked to Sasquatch reports. Accurately thrown rocks, strong odors preceding encounters, and items taken from campsites. Some referenced descriptions of younger Sasquatch being curious but unpredictable. Others pointed out that whatever struck the ground beside their tent carried serious weight. If the sounds didn't come from Lomar, the missing beer wasn't accidental, and the rock carried a scent that didn't belong in the forest. Then what exactly remained near their camp long after everything else had gone silent? It took place in October 2024, when Pellegrini, the creator behind a travel and exploration YouTube channel known for visiting remote locations and sites tied to unsettling folklore, traveled alongside a shaman known as Unicornio Negro to an abandoned mansion hidden on a secluded island. The house had remained untouched for more than 20 years, its past shaped by tragedy and persistent rumors of ritualistic practices. From the moment they arrived, the atmosphere felt dense, as if the property itself carried unresolved stories waiting to surface.
Tomamos esta lancha, más o menos la manejamos bueno, no la manejé yo, la manejó el señor. Sí. ¿Cuántos años más o menos tiene abandonada esta casa?
Ya tiene más de 20 años este lugar. Como a este lugar no viene nadie.
Sí, ¿no? Y aparte la naturaleza hizo lo suyo
Sí. En este lugar en donde vamos a entrar hay muchísimas historias. Estas historias que te voy a contar son reales. Un hombre negro, grandísimo, de 3 metros, se ha visto caminando o deambulando alrededor.
Por eso estamos el día de hoy aquí, amigos. Vamos a entrar a la casa maldita de la montaña embrujada para justamente ver si los espíritus existen.
La historia de la casa embrujada de la montaña maldita comienza con una familia que decide comprar este terreno y hacer su propio hogar. Todo parecía ser un paraíso en medio de una isla solitaria, pero un día, sin previo aviso, el hombre de la casa se desvivió. La familia decidió venderla. Es que algunos años más tarde, la pareja que compró esta casa, un día la esposa amaneció colgada de una ventana del 2º piso.
Hoja de cucharo. Esta rama se utiliza dentro de la herbolaria para poder despojar las energías de la... Aquí se ha avistado muchísimas demonios. Uno de ellos ha sido el charro. Se cuenta que aquí alrededor lo han visto y aquellas personas que lo han visto no han podido ni siquiera moverse, ni gritar, ni salir corriendo. Solo lo ven y se quedan petrificados. No solamente han visto al charro, sino también han visto a una mujer. Hay que tener muchísimo cuidado porque esta misma energía puede hacer que se desmaye la persona con menos espíritu. Aquí se han desmayado.
¿Por qué te le quedas viendo a Santi?
Porque pues yo sé que él es el que trae el espíritu más bajo.
Oigan, todo eso que escuchan, no sé qué sea, no sé si sean pájaros o monos, porque en esta isla hay monos.
Sí.
En esta casa también se hacen rituales satánicos.
De hecho, estás adentro de un portal. Alrededor de ti están muchísimas puntos que fueron veladores.
Spirit box,
ese
perfecto.
Es un punto. A todos los seres que habitan en este lugar, los espíritus impuros, los demonios, incluso a la Santa Muerte, el día de hoy pido se hagan presente todos estos energías, espíritu en este lugar que necesite de nuestra ayuda. Que tu nombre sea, que así se haga. Ometel.
¿Empezamos?
Sí.
Ok.
A partir de ahora.
¿Hay algún espíritu que se encuentre aquí? ¿Eres maligno?
Sí, tu cabello se estaba moviendo de este lado. Aquí, ¿verdad? Se alzaba. En unos momentos acabamos de tener lo que fue una actividad aquí con ella y en el video se muestra cómo su pelo se le empieza a alzar hasta acá.
¿Qué está pasando? ¿Qué estamos haciendo? Me siento muy observada. ¡Qué bueno! ¿Me están contestando? ¿Te molesta que estemos aquí? ¿Eres la mujer de blanco que se aparece? Se escuchan muchísimos ruidos afuera de aquí de la casa mía.
¿Eres mujer? Te vas a quedar aquí un momento. Quiero hacer una prueba. Vean, este que yo tengo es
Santi.
La forma, ¿no? de la persona. Lo voy a mover para otros lados y así nos vamos a dar cuenta si hay algo aquí. Se está detectando algo en la esquina.
Se escucha como si alguien estuviera haciendo un ritual.
Como de rodillas y ahora de pie. A ver, me voy a poner al lado.
¿Sí ven cómo detecta a el unicornio?
Entonces me voy a quitar. Ustedes lo están viendo, me voy a quitar.
No mames. No inventes, sí hay algo ahí definitivamente. ¿Escuchan? Sí.
¿Escuchaste? No hay que separarnos, por favor. Los lugares a donde luego voy, hay Miles de murciélagos, miles.
Mira, te parece como si estuviera bailando, mira. ¡Una persona chiquita, mamón! Güey, ¿qué es? ¿Una luche?
Inside the lower level of the mansion, the shaman introduced hoja de cucharo, describing its traditional use in clearing heavy, stagnant energy that can settle over long periods of abandonment. As they moved through the tight corridors and aging rooms, a faint, strained cry echoed from somewhere deeper within the structure. The shaman associated the sound with a woman connected to the site's history and warned that one person in the group was particularly vulnerable. The tension lingered as they continued forward, sensing that the environment around them was shifting. They soon reached an area believed to be connected to past rituals and attempted to use a spirit box, but each attempt ended the same way, with the device powering down unexpectedly. Switching to a motion tracking application produced an even stranger result. The screen displayed the outline of a full-size figure standing in an otherwise empty corner, followed by a smaller form moving erratically. The shaman linked the movements to aluches or duendes, entities often mentioned in regional folklore. The group remained still as the shapes flickered on and off, and a quiet sense of awareness seemed to fill the room. As the pressure in the space grew heavier, they chose to move upstairs toward the part of the house tied to its most disturbing event.
Justamente aquí, pero en la otra habitación, fue donde vimos la última vez que venimos. La mujer caminaba, deambulaba en la naturaleza y se fue perdiendo entre los árboles. Aquí, ponte aquí.
Ay,
Cierra
cabrón.
tus ojos y describe las cosas.
Me siento como intranquila. Siento como si algo me estuviera agarrando las manos. Y ahora... ¡Ay! Güey, siento que alguien me está tocando.
Tranquila. Descríbelo todo sin miedo. Aquí estoy yo.
Literalmente siento como si alguien me estuviera tocando.
Tal vez están tratando de contactarse a través de ti.
No, güey, paso.
¿Qué más sientes?
Está empezando a doler la boca del estómago aquí. Otra vez, que cuando normalmente me duele aquí es porque hay algo.
Está absorbiendo parte de tu energía. Hoy hemos venido a entregar parte de nuestra energía y no se los había comentado.
Siento que me están agarrando la mano izquierda.
Cuando sientes que te están agarrando la mano, ¿esta mano es grande o es pequeña?
Grande. Siento que es más grande que la mía. La siento delicada como si fuera una mujer, pero sí siento que es una mano grande.
¿Lo están viendo ustedes? ¿Están escuchando todo? Sí. Ahora vamos a preguntarle algo. ¿Necesitas ayuda?
No.
No, simplemente quiere que nos vayamos. ¿Tú eres la persona que está haciendo ruido?
No. Nos están molestando. Ay, no. Me siento las piernas mal, o sea, están congeladas. Siento como si quisiera caminar, pero no puedo. Me siento como si...
Hay un sentimiento encontrado.
Ajá.
Puedo sentir ese sentimiento. Ese sentimiento te está causando tristeza, te está causando un vacío en tu cuerpo.
Estoy angustiadísima.
¿Te atormenta algo de tu pasado? Al fondo de tus recuerdos. Por eso no has podido recordarlo.
¿Y qué es? Me está ardiendo aquí muy...
Son las ganas de liberarte.
Ok, me quiero liberar.
Respiras profundo, exhalas. De todo lo que me ha pasado.
De todo lo que me ha pasado.
Tanto de lo bueno como lo malo.
Tanto de lo bueno como de lo malo. Güey, está muy cabrón, me arde aquí. Siento calientísimo.
Respira profundamente y vas a decir, nada de lo que me ha pasado.
Nada de lo que me ha pasado.
Ha sido culpa mía.
Ha sido culpa mía. Güey, si estás muy...
¿Sí estás bien? ¿Estás bien? Vámonos.
Güey, no lo puedo creer, no lo puedo creer, no lo puedo creer. ¿Cómo supiste?
On the second floor, inside the room where a woman had once been discovered, the atmosphere intensified around Cellegrini. She reported a physical sensation, as though her hand was being firmly held. Under the shaman's guidance, she attempted to respond to whatever presence remained, but her reactions became fragmented and strained. Her body grew heavy, emotions surged unexpectedly, and a deeply buried memory surfaced, leaving her visibly shaken. Recognizing the toll it was taking, the shaman decided that staying inside the mansion any longer posed a risk. Throughout the encounter, the shaman's explanations centered on cleansing plants, wandering spirits, and protective forces, framed each moment as part of a broader spiritual system. Viewers later noted how the equipment malfunctions and intense emotional responses aligned closely with traditional beliefs surrounding aluches, duendes, and the lingering energy left behind by tragic events. As they left the island behind, the shaman urged caution, leaving one question unresolved. Were their experiences simply echoes of the mansion's dark history, or signs of something still aware of those who entered its walls? What do you believe truly happened inside that abandoned house? That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.